fact, history has it that if you really want to know the first millionaire in Igbo land, you will know that it's then called Eshi-Nkwerre. But because of lack of records, anybody can claim anything. Though Igbo history is mainly oral, people will say the history the way it suits them. I'm telling you, 80% of Nkwerre people are educated. 80%. I bet you, in fact, 80% just want to be conservative. I told you that even the elementary school was founded in about 1912. Yeah. How many people are alive now from 1910 to this time? Like the popular Atoeze, a product of St. Augustine. Good number of them. Even the vice chancellor now of UNIZIC, so many great professors, so many great business luminaries. In fact, Augustine happened to be the citadel of the development and the civilization of Nkwerre. The Nkwerre spirit is a positive spirit. It's a positive thinking. Keep up that love. That added that says, it means a lot. That is our belief. Nkwere Anahebu means that an Nkwerre son cannot kill a fellow Nkwerre person. That has kept us together. The Nkwerre spirit is love. The Nkwerre spirit is we love Nkwerre town like no other. We love Nkwerre from here to here. In those days, they believed that those stick or those three are the God. We are not even against. If you still want to put your God in a shrine, you are free. But what you are saying is that as a believer, take for example, I'm a Christian, and the essence of the deity is that you share God. Am I not correct? Yeah. Now I said my God is a living God. There's dynamism in culture. No culture is static. Do you understand? A culture you can modify a culture. But the issue is that you don't depart from the well-cherished aims of your forefathers, the purpose by which that ceremony is being held. That's where the honor lies. Even right now, we are trying to expand towards our hill, Ugu. We want to open up the road because Sea has been seriously built up. And our sons are looking for land. Everybody wants to have a very big home. After yearly sojourn, working hard, you can, at least for that 2 weeks, you come down and rest in a comfortable environment. We have the titled structure in Nkwerre. You have the Nze, Nozo, and after that, you have the Nkwerre traditional chieftaincy titles and Nkwerre honorary chieftaincy titles. Then the women's section of Nkwerre Boys Union said what? They became the first women union to build a girls' secondary school. They started theirs again from that 1949. Under 3 years, by 1952, St. Catherine's Girls' Secondary School was established. You can think about many great ladies whom were there, like the wife of His Excellency, Ihedioha, a product of that school. The Supreme Court judge, this lordship, Justice Choma Egon Ihemenwosu, a product of that school. And so many eminent Nigerian women that have excelled in many great professions.
St. Catherine's Girls' Secondary School, built in 1955, as of 70 years ago, by the women of this community called Nkwerre. Nkwerre is a great kingdom, and they came together, contribute money individually. They taxed themselves and contributed money, and they built this monument. Just look at school building. Where did they get the idea of building school as of that time? Even up to today, we are in 2026. There are some communities that can't boast of this kind of school. But as of 1955, the people of Nkwerre have been schooling in this kind of standard school. It was not built by missionaries. They built it themselves. They came together and built this school because they know that their people needed to be educated. And they gathered money and built it after they saw what the men did.
An Nkwerre blacksmith can make guns. Even better than the white men in those days. Double barrels, cooking pots, bars, and what have you. That act of blacksmith made us to travel so far and wide that today can have Nkwerre in many other towns like in Rivers State, Bonny, Nkwerre, Nkwerre, and so on and so forth.
Guys, we're finally in Nkwere, and this is the signboard of the king. You want to go? That is Eshi of Nkwerre. So we want to go to the palace right now, to the palace of His Royal Highness Eze Barrister CJ Okwara the Fourth. You want to go? LL.B. So he's a barrister, yeah, he's a barrister, a legal practitioner, a prominent man, a businessman, a well-made man, a wealthy man. So we are going to go to his palace, and he will tell us more about this kingdom, about this dinner, no, bro, dinners, about this kingdom, about this town, Nkwere, because Nkwere is a big name when you come to Imo State, when you come to Igbo land. They have money, they are well educated, they have prominent people, their place is, you know, developed. They practice Akuruno in this town, which when you look at my left, right, front and back, you see how houses, story building everywhere, their road is, everything is, you know, Nkwere is developed, man, and we are going to show you guys this town, and also listen to His Royal Highness, and he will tell us more about this particular town, about this great kingdom. So let's go to the palace, man.
Okay, now them giant I will them for weather. So we down I have caught all that and stay and go to.
Okay. So we know now case Igwe of Nkwerre. So let's try to know whether he's around. So can ya go one-on-one. Oh yeah, huh?
Oh yeah, now.
So what can you tell people from Nkwerre?
Hey man, it has been long. You guys have been saying, "Oh, come to Nkwerre, come to Nkwerre. The Nkwerre is better than Abreba. Nkwerre this." You guys like comparing Nkwerre with Abreba. But today, I'm impressed already. Let's just, you know, go inside and see what is happening. True. Let's explore. Let's tour this town. This town is a great town, even by me looking at it.
So before we do anything, we have to talk to Eze. That's what we do always. Let's go.
My name is His Royal Highness Eze Chijioke Jeki Okwara Nkano Eshi Nkwerre. Nkwerre is one of the principal towns of Igbo nation. The community is founded by children of Okwara. Okwara is the first son of Eshi. Eshi is the son of Oke. Oke, you know, is one of the leaders of the people that migrated to this part of the world, known as Igbo land. You can understand from the Igbo parlance, the adage that says, Nwa Oke. In Igbo land, we regard every male child as son of Oke, that is Nwoke. And we have other principal towns. You can think of Arrows, you can think of Nris, and what have you. But let me restrict myself to Nkwere. The Okwara, the first son of Eshi, had 4 sons. These 4 sons, the first son among them is Onosa. Oforole, the second son. Okonwa, the third son. And Oke, the fourth son, the reincarnation of the grandfather of the great-grandfather. These 4 sons had their respective domain, their compound, their kindred, their land, the area they occupied. At the time, all of them took the Ozo title. They were trying to go independently. But because of intertribal wars, they now performed the agreement. When they came together and said, we have agreed to be an indivisible entity, so help us God. With the staff, otherwise called off, they placed that agreement on the land and then called the land Nkwere, Allah Nkwere. That's how we picked our name Nkwere. The agreement between the 4 sons of Okwara. And this, you remember, our forefathers got here by doctrine of occupation. All originalities, all ancient communities are those who got their title of ownership of their land by occupation in those olden many thousand years ago. So Nkwere was Nkwere, we existed, we are governed before the advent of the European masters and before even the advent of independence. But I want to restrict myself to the rulership, the royalty on record. What I mean record is at the advent of the white man, the Eze on throne then was the Royal Majesty Eze of Nkwerre. Eze of Nkwerre ascended throne by record in 1986. And the white men came to Nkwerre in 1900. Then Queen Victoria, by record, granted warrant. That's authority of recognition to Nkwerre, the first in this part of the world. In fact, record has it that after him, it was him and the king of Eket. Then Nkwerre left to join his ancestors in 1909. By 1910, the Ezanyam the Great took over. Did many great things in Nkwerre. Led many great economic exploits. And he joined his ancestors in 1956. By 1958, His Royal Majesty Eze Justice Obinna Lukochukwu II ascended the throne of our forefathers. And he reigned till 1993. By 1997, I ascended this great ancient throne of Nkwerre land. And by God's grace, I'm still serving the people till now. Yes, people will tell you Nkwerre is progressing, Nkwerre developed. It is true. Our main trade, our main occupation before the advent of white men, our grandfather did a lot of slave trade, and we are blacksmiths. Hence, we are known as Nkwerre Opiebe. And Nkwerre blacksmith can make guns, even better than the white men in those days. Double barrels, cooking pots, bars, and what have you. That act of blacksmith made us to travel so far and wide that today you can have Nkwerre in many other towns, like in Rivers State, Bonny, Nkwerre, Nkwerre Ofia, and so on and so forth. Before now, they were communicating, but with modern development, I think it's only the name that unites us. Nkwerre people are known traders. In fact, history has it that if you really want to know the first millionaire in Igbo land, you will know that it's then called Nkwerre. But because of lack of records, anybody can claim anything. Though Igbo history is mainly oral, people will say the history the way it suits them. But saying is believing. You can walk down opposite the market called Ayamoju. You will now find the upstairs of the legend. That upstairs I said was built in either 1900 something. You get the record when you get there. We have a lot of Nkwerre successful men. Apart from Oju, you know, I can say the second mayor of Port Harcourt is from Nkwerre here, Chief Eshi-Nkwerre, who was then the President General of Nkwerre and the Mayor of Port Harcourt. You must have heard the great name of like J. Aranye, the man single-handed who built the SS Peter and John Divine Cathedral and handed over to the Anglican mission, Diocese of Olu. Let me start with our forefathers, what they did. As far as 1945, the Nkwerre men came under a union they founded in 1939, otherwise called Nkwere Aborigines Union. They thought and they felt that there's importance of education in Nkwere. Hence, they contributed money and built the first community boys secondary school. They started in 1945 and it was opened in January 1948, otherwise called St. Augustine's Grammar School. That school has produced eminent, great, like the popular Atoeze, a product of St. Augustine. Good number of them. Even the Vice Chancellor now of UNIZIC, so many great professors, so many great business luminaries. In fact, Augustine happened to be the citadel of the development and the civilization of Nkwerre. Then the women's section of Nkwere Aborigines Union said what? They became the first women union to build a girls' secondary school. They started theirs again from that 1949. Under 3 years, by 1952, St. Catherine's Girls' Secondary School was established. You can think about many great ladies whom were there, like the wife of His Excellency, Ihedioha, a product of that school. The Supreme Court judge, this lordship, Justice Choma Egon Ihemenwosu, a product of that school. And so many eminent Nigerian women that have excelled in many great professions. So, by 1960s, one of our sons then founded the Nkwere High School, where the government took over now. So, that's about education. At the time, our primary school, the Nkwere Primary Central School, was founded in 1912. Here, it's one of the oldest primary schools, and so many. Nkwere, as it stands today, had about 31 villages. Despite there's one thing or the other, normal human being, one misunderstanding over autonomous community, what have you. But relatively, you can say that Nkwere is very, very peaceful. We talk of commerce and industry. Our sons and daughters have excelled. I remember the foam industry was established in Nkwere as far back by Chief J. Aranye. The plastic industries by then Chief Omonakwe. Israel started the oil mill, and our men are so many good things. Poultries, ram, and so on, animal husbandry companies, marketing. But the greatest you have to know Nkwere is noted for is that we are not violent people. We are not, sorry my dear, we are not violent. In Nkwere, matters are resolved amicably. Yes, we can have disagreements, but we're able, quick and able to resolve them. Like what is happening around. Our people are so organized, cool-headed. Our young men are doing their best to respect their elders, listening to the wise counsel of their elders. I think that has been one of the greatest points we have. Recently, we attracted in Nkwere the First Bank. So banking facility provided by First Bank is smooth. In Nkwere again, no matter we lost our hospital, that is health-wise, We have many health centers. In fact, health centers are located in almost the 5 wards of Nkwerre, if not more. Our general hospital was closed, I don't know, but recently they have established the Federal Teaching Hospital Annex at Nkwere, serving wonderful purpose. And the state government has now constructed a new general hospital at the old site. I think health-wise, we are there. One will ask me what is happening about NEPA. Yes, NEPA is a national problem, and Nkwere is not an exemption. Whatever other communities are suffering, incessant power supply is common. But I'm of them optimistic that the federal government is tackling the power problem. I think when others improve, Nkwere will equally improve. So I can comfortably tell you that we in Nkwere, we are happy. We have not recorded a lot of violent crimes. The security architecture in Nkwere and the cooperation of the vigilante is making Nkwere safe. For now, this is Nkwere for you. When the outlawed gun making, there's one thing about Nkwere. Nkwere honestly believe in rule of law. So when it became a crime to manufacture gun, that really made Nkwere to drop that their threat. But up to tomorrow, people will know Nkwere as Nkwere Opia Ebe. But as of now, most of our sons are no more into that blacksmithing. That's the gun making, because government outlawed it. At the advent of organized government in the country, making of gun become an illegal trade. And the people from that point started dropping it. There's another thing in Nkwere, apart from gun, our people are very good in music. Probably you must have heard about a millionaire in Ebiego. The record broke, that music broke record. It sold in hundreds of thousands. We have other young musical group. We have the Aborigine dancing group. We have Egure from Aba, Nkwere indigenous resident at Aba, and so on and so forth. I would like you to listen to some of our melodious native songs. Nkwere is here. Nkwere has what you call Ekpe. Ekpe is, in fact, was a traditional police. Ekpe is a group, a society used in settling land disputes. It's very functional. It contributes to bring about peace and order in the community. So we have the titled structure in Nkwere. You have the Nze, Nozo, and after that you have the Nkwere traditional chieftaincy titles and Nkwere honorary chieftaincy titles. We have 3 ceremonies in the year. At the 7 market days of 8 days, we perform the Mbamoro. That normally comes up around the 3rd week of February. Mbamoro means when you bless the land and ask God to let the land be fertile, because our farmers will get into farm. After that Mbamoro, we do what you call Oriri. That comes about the month of July, later part of July. And in that Oriri, the significance is when the halves, the wages, will help to feed the have-nots, the poor ones among them. And that time is the time of famine. When there's famine, proper hunger in the land, those who have will bring out and celebrate those who haven't. That's the purpose of that Oriri. And after that Oriri, 16 days after Oriri, we now presumed that the farm, the yams are ready to be harvested. We now do Ekpere Nkwere. That Ekpere Nkwere is done almost the 1st or 2nd week of August, where we do fasting and prayers, thanking God for giving us life, allowing us to go to farm. We cultivated our farm. Nobody, snake or every wicked thing did not disturb us. We are alive to harvest our product. We call it Ekpere Nkwere. Then after that Ekpere Nkwere, it is now ripe for Iriji Nkwere. That is the time we go to our farm, bring the yam, bring it before the people, thank God, bless, and so on and so forth. Then we take yam. After that yam taking is about the 3rd week or 4th week, depending on our market days of August. That marks the end of Nkwerre calendar years. So it's 4 ceremonies we do in Nkwerre in each year.
So that means Nkwerre is deep rooted in culture and tradition.
Yes, seriously, we are one of the Igbo communities that observe our culture, and we did 1 or 2 blendings where it looks Hedonic in nature. When we look at what's the ratio, the enchantment of our forefathers, we'll not blend it. Custom is dynamic.
Yeah.
We'll not blend it to suit what our forefathers had in mind.
Yeah.
I want to give you an example. Like the Eshi-Nkwerre. In those days, men would go and slaughter fowl in one of their deities. But we discovered that it is the time they are remembering memorial of their fathers. And what does that mean? Asking God to receive the spirit of our departed papas, departed fathers, grandfathers in peace. So it's memorial. When I say, if this is memorial, there's nothing bad in it. We have to uphold it. And now, what we do, we go to church. We can pray at the palace, asking God to receive the spirit of the departed and bless them. You can see why we perform the breaking of that fast. Otherwise called it Nkwerre. But before then, it was called Nkwerre. The aim is to remember your late father, your late grandfather, and so on. So it's a memorial. So you can see we have changed the idol worshipping in line with modern, why we maintain the ratio. No. It's not that. It's not that. In those days, they believed that those stick or those three are the God. We are not even against. If you still want to put your God in a shrine, you are free. But what you are saying is that as a believer, take for example, I'm a Christian, and the essence of the deity is that you share God. Am I not correct?
Yeah.
Now I said my God is the living God. But what am I doing? I'm praying my God as the other my subject is praying his own God, the shrine. The shrine. You don't stop him if he wants to connect with the shrine. It's free. But what we said is that the living God, with the death and sacrificial of the splitting of blood of Jesus Christ, that is the highest sacrifice. It is my faith. If the faith, there's fundamental human right on freedom of worship. In as much as you can do your own, there's nothing bad. But what I'm saying is that the aim, the reason for that ceremony must be upheld. There's dynamism in culture. No culture is static. Do you understand? A culture you can modify a culture. But the issue is that you don't depart from the well-cherished aims of your forefathers, the purpose by which that ceremony is being held. That's where the honor lies. Seriously. I told you our forefathers found something valuable. They discovered the advantage of education. The fact I can say they extracted the definition of education by Aristotle that it says education liberates people from shackles of mystery and ignorance. They embraced education. And most of our forefathers made sure that each son or daughter attends school. That was why the women built the girls' secondary school, the men built the boys' secondary school. And they were all first-class schools, produced eminent scholars, both men and women. In most part of Igbo land, you find the product of St. Augustine and St. Catherine's. And by recently, Nkwerre High School. Sure, I'm telling you, 80% of Nkwerre people are educated. 80%. I bet you, in fact, 80% I just want to be conservative. In Nkwerre, there's no passion in Nkwerre that if you want to address Nkwerre people, not just stop you addressing them in English. Majority of the people will go home with information right. They are. I told you that even the elementary school was founded in about 1912. Yeah. How many people are alive now from 1910 to this time. You can say it's not easy. Am I not right? So almost everybody in Nkwere. When I say 80%, I know because there's no perfection in human being. You cannot give you 100%. But I'm telling you, I'll classify them as a educated set of community. Yes, I don't think I told you an average Nkwere man is industrious. Do you understand me? Yeah. Very, very. And an average Nkwere do not depend on your father, your mother. No. The average, I told you, immediately from their childhood, they attend school. Most of them educated. After that, some will get into business. And you know, there's a different thing between an educated businessman compared to an illiterate. So they are hardworking. They are serious, whatever. The average Nkwere person will be serious. And you remember the secret of business success is two things. Efficiency and effectiveness. Remember, education brings about efficiency. When you're exposed, when you're aware of what you're doing. And commitment brings about effectiveness. And if somebody is effective in what he's doing and is efficient in what he's doing, what happened? The surplus, the result is wealth. That is the secret behind them. An average Nkwere man is effective whatever he decides to do. He would like to do it very well. He's efficient because that thing he's doing, he will be interested to learn the proper scale. That's efficiency. When you are grounded in your choosing profession and you have the interest, the passion to put in your best as a human being, to be on time, not to toy or play with it, the commitment is there. Result will be great. That's the secret of Nkwere people. Yeah, let me give you the secret. Any road you've found being tarred is done by government. But what happened? Our sons and daughters that were in government, either selected or appointed. Now, if government is doing a program, they will not take their own and sell out and make money. They will bring that product assigned, that development the government has planned for each community or each local government, they bring it home. Not did they bring it home. Some of our people we call the work committee will supervise, to pretend, try to know the bill of quantities, the quality government that asks people, the contractors to so build. So they will monitor. If the contractor is trying to be funny, they will report to the palace. The palace will call the appropriate professionals in that field, and the contractor will be called to order. It has happened on many occasions. So we give thanks, we give praises. We appreciate our leaders. It's not a one-man show. It has been from time to time. You remember the first Minister of Education, Nkwere man, Chief Izoma of blessed memory. After him, you remember the Mbakwe time, Willie was the Commissioner for Works. He contributed. You remember after Willie, Dr. Frank Iyekwaba came in. You remember after Dr. Frank Iyekwaba, High Chief Uzoma Wosiheme, the President Lord Mayor of Nkwere, came in. It was a commission. After him, so many, they were there.
All of them are from Nkwere?
Yes, from Nkwere. They served. My own son was his time that this, that was the last administration. When there were so many rural roads, my son, Dr. Obinna Okwara, was the house member. He brought some of the under the constituency project. And not that he gave it to, the contract was given to our son. The High Chief, Chibika Chibu, Acacia, whose company, construction company, did the job. You can see the quality of the road. That road has lasted over 10 or 15 years now. You get me? The construction. But it's the quality of the road and the bridges, and that the people are not messing it up. If there is any, they don't throw in garbages into the gutter. If there is one, they will clear it so that water will find its own way. Being committed to community, we educate them, we talk. These things government has brought, please maintain it. You see, you wouldn't leave everything for government. Government should not be allowed to come and clean the road. the people should do their part. So it is when government brings something and the people helps in their own little way, you will find the entire society enjoying it. If government makes a law and you break the law, would there be a stable government? The society, both the ruled and the governed and the governed, should all put hand to make the society a better place for living. So in Nkwere, we are doing our best. Our people are doing their best. If they are making mistake, you call them and advise them, they will listen. So that is the secret behind the little you have seen. The next is again, from time immemorial, our forefathers formed this habit of bringing their children home every year ending. And boy, Igwe of Nkwerre. Every 26th of December is called Nkwere Day. Where Nkwerre people will dance their traditional music, women will dance, Okoroshe will dance, Akalikbo, what have you. We have been doing that. And this is the secret. When we are children, even from US, London, Russia, East, West, Asia, and so on. When you bring your children home and they see this cultural interaction, dances, meeting, relations, and interacting with their people, they look forward every year. Where they fail to come yearly, either because of economic hardship, they make sure they be warning their parents to let us go and dance, let us do wrestling, all those things. I remember my grandchildren, they are in Ireland. I remember when they say, Grandpa, when I wake up, I would like to go and wrestle. And I'll teach them, do you think wrestling is chopping chicken? They are now enticed. Something brings them home. So, and if you are coming home this year, you find your mate has put in a good building for his own family to come and feel the same thing as what they're having in Ireland or in Europe, you will not think home was. You know, good things attract good things. And bad things equally attracts bad things. And the people in Nkwerre are not interested in what you have done. Nobody cares to poison you. In Nkwerre, we don't remove our cup. When we're in club or when we're in a meeting, no Nkwerre man will stand up to go and urinate and carry his cup because nobody cares for you. So people here are not afraid coming to invest in their hometown because nobody's interested. Nobody will kill you. Rather, people will appreciate you. Villages are proud that, oh, their own village, they have this type of building, they have this swimming pool. There was one time a boy, later on, wanted to build a swimming pool on top of his upstairs. People appreciated it. Are you getting me? Yeah. So these are the things that made us if we admire our sons that make their home a comfortable place. And when your parents are old, they are coming home, the first thing a son will do is to make the place they are going to stay convenient for them. So from one by one, little drop of water makes up a mighty ocean. It doesn't mean that Nkwere plan and want everybody come and build. No. It is a thing our elders started in those days, getting to our hand, we emulated it, and we are doing it today. Even right now, we are trying to expand towards our hill, Ugu. We want to open up the road because here has been seriously built up. And our sons are looking for land. Everybody wants to have a very big home. After yearly sojourn, working hard, you can, at least for that 2 weeks, you come down and rest in a comfortable environment. That is the secret of what we are doing.
So Nkwerre is now a GRA on its own.
Honestly. Thank you for that. It is. And we derive joy coming home. Wow. We derive every year. I'm sorry you did not come during the Christmas time. You will not believe it's Nkwerre. Everywhere is unpacked. I will see the opportunity to ask every Nkwerre son, daughter, don't drop, keep up with that Nkwerre spirit. Keep up with that Nkwerre spirit. The Nkwerre spirit is a positive spirit. It's a positive thinking. Keep up that love. That added that says, it means a lot. That is our belief. Nkwerre means that an Nkwerre son cannot kill a fellow Nkwerre person. That has kept us together. We can quarrel. Look, I'm not interested whether there is quarrel. Yes, as far as we are human beings breathing, there must be some misunderstandings. But the Nkwerre spirit is that we are there, we have to resolve it peacefully. Any quarrel at any point in Nkwerre must be resolved peacefully. So, which means there's great love. The Nkwerre spirit is love. The Nkwerre spirit is, we love Nkwerre town like no other. We love Nkwerre from here to earth, to heaven. We are so proud of Nkwerre. We love Nkwerre. That is why God, in His infinite mercy, has taken over Nkwerre. You can see with all these happenings, Nkwerre is as peaceful as anything you can think of. They should know our forefathers, even during the war. The day the war should come to Nkwerre was the day the war ended. Even at time of any quarrel, Nkwerre is always peaceful. I want to thank them again. We welcome visitors, strangers to Nkwerre. If you're a stranger in Nkwerre here, nobody knows whether you're an Nkwerre indigenous or not. We don't discriminate. So I am thanking Nkwerre sons and daughters for your love for me, the throne. Despite my shortcomings, I'm easily apologetic. Anytime I said I'm sorry, you find everybody laughing over the mistake, even ever. So I thank you people. I thank the elders for their wonderful advice. Those that are annoyed, I plead with them for Nkwerre spirit. We should always come together. We have a project now. You can see now we have now incorporated with CSO. We're about finishing it up, what we call the Nkwerre Education Trust Fund. That's another area. We are thinking that the children of the have-nots should be encouraged to attend one of the best schools like every other person. And hence, we now started this trust fund. And I want to appeal to some people. The trust fund, you know, we said we are now getting involved with 100 million. We have almost gone halfway. May I see the opportunity to ask the titled men in Nkwerre to pay up so that that will come up with the immediate academic season. We have started the under Dr. Godwin Nade Odimbe of Nkwerre, who is a USA-based gentleman. So I'm grateful to all of you. I thank God and hope that we'll march from strength to strength. May God bless all the sons and daughters of Nkwerre in Jesus' name.
Amen. So here right now is St. Augustine Grammar School, Nkwerre. So this school, just like Eze said, was built in the early 1940 something. That was when it was commissioned. And the people that built this school first was the youth of, that is main youth of this community, Nkwerre. They came together and said, no, they have to build school. Just as early as 1940 something, they have this kind of mindset. That's to show you how like education, like the people of Nkwerre love education and how educated they were at that time. Yes, and they came up together, contributed money, and built this school as at then. And let me shock you people. Engineer Ateze, the billionaire we all know, schooled in this particular St. Augustine Grammar School. This is for boys only. You want to go? And the amazing thing is that when they built that time, no, there was no secondary school like that. Like secondary was not rampant at that time. And they built this old building. When you look at it, see, Manula, this school, bro, if today. So that's, yeah, it's a vintage building. It's a vintage school. And that is why we are here. And Nkwerre people love education. They are educated people. So when you look, you see how, and one thing I love about them, when you look, you see how they are maintaining the whole place. This is the old building. But when you look, you see new building, new erected buildings. And students are here currently as I'm talking to you, still schooling here, still existing, and still being maintained by the people. So when the women wing saw what the men's wing did, they decided to build their own. So I would like us to go there also and show you women's own, if possible, because we are running out of time. So the women of this community, Nkwerre people, decided, no, when they saw what the men did about building, men's secondary school that time, so they decided, no, they must build their own. And they gathered money, their money. Overall government is not individually, they contributed and built their own girls' secondary school. So what is the name? St. Catherine's Girls' Secondary School. Okay, so let's go and check and read what is there. All these places
was built by Nkwerre Aborigines women.
In Otago, Nkwerre Aborigines women. So it was built by women. That one, that's women's secondary school, girls only. But this particular one, this St. Augustine Grammar School, is for boys only. And it was built individually, collectively, by the community, by the people of this land. So that time, how many communities can boast of individual, school, that built school that time? It's not government. You understand? So look at it, all these buildings. So, but I'm happy that new structures have been erected here. So look at it here. What pillars of SAGS at 75th anniversary project and events were made possible with donations from these old boys. You see, I believe the alumni of these particular schools are the ones rebuilding, putting new structures here. You got to go? So look at their ages. They contributed. When you engineer Chinaka Ungu, 72 years. This one too, 72 years. You have years, no?
Like the years.
Okay, yeah.
The years they renovated. In that one, you go 1972, 1974, 1976. The time they renovated, like they contributed money.
Okay.
Of their age.
Okay. So this is the year they contributed money in the renovation of these particular buildings. Wow. When you look, you see 72, 72, 72, and all that. Plenty of them. So this is St. Augustine Grammar School, Old Boys Association, Nkwere. So 75th anniversary, 1948 to 2023. This anniversary pillar is to commemorate the 75th anniversary of SAGS and honor the old boys who funded the event and this anniversary project, Dining Hall, Chapel, Alumni Center. So this is beautiful. So that means the alumni of these particular schools, they're still maintaining it. Just look at it. The years, these are the people, the years they bring money. So if you schooled in St. Augustine Grammar School, Nkwere, in early 70 to now, if you are the alumni of this school and you are watching this video, drop a comment and share this video and support us. Don't forget, this is your school. And as far as we are in Nkwere, we must definitely show you guys this school because it's a significant school, man. So let's go. This is St. Catherine's Girls Secondary School, Nkwere, in Imo State. And this is the school the women of this community came together and built in 1955 after they saw what the men did. Because the men contributed money and built their own, that is St. Augustine Grammar School, that is boys only. They built it in 1948. And the women said no. They came together and contributed money and built this one, established this one in 1955. Calculate, since 1955 to today, how many years? Before the war. That's to show you how intelligent, how educated they were at that time. How did they know that education is important? How did they know that this is what we need to do so that our people will benefit, to enlighten our people? That is why in Nkwere, Imo State today, when you come to this town, they have the number of the most educated people in any, like when you come to Igbo land and talk about communities that have most educated people, you must count Nkwere as number 1 or 2. Their men and women are so educated because their grandfathers laid the foundation for them and built schools for them. So in this girls' school, they have produced a lot of prominent people. The alumni of this secondary school are many, and they are in important positions. And one thing I love about these people is that they are maintaining the school. Yes, as I'm talking to you, the students are still there schooling. I think this is a boarding school self. Because when you look, you see hostel women's are there schooling. They are there in their hostels. So look at the school building. This is a monument. This is not today. Over 70 years old buildings. So imagine, people that built this kind of schools that time, as of 1955 and thereabout, were missionaries. When missionaries come to your community, they will build this kind of school, this kind of massive school. Because see buildings, man. Just check it out. See the ancient buildings they built that time, 70 years ago. Look at the buildings. Just look at that and go show them the other side. All these buildings you are seeing is ancient buildings. That's to show you how they have foresight. This is the school. Like this is the school building. Look at it, authentic. Just come close. Come close. So I'm just asking, how were they like this, like enlightened wise enough to think about building school when, like, missionaries, didn't even come. It's not like, oh, missionary, they come here and build this school. No. The villagers, the community, the women, they came together, contributed money individually and built this school. Look at the quarters there. All these ones, the building you are looking at the other side, they are all quarters where the teachers are staying. And some hostels are at the back. So this is to tell you how intelligent they were.